Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. It is Monday, and I am Jabrina Speaks. I'm your host for Let's Talk Business in the. It is Monday, and I am Jabrina Speaks. Thank you. That's fine, Sherina. It is. Wait, it was your serious face. Like after that happened, you was like, "Oh, wait a second. She can hear herself." So listen, happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited about what's getting ready to take place in the chat box. If you don't know who I am Jabrina Speaks. I am the host for tonight. And so this is Let's Talk Business. Let's Talk Business. And I'm so excited to have the guest that I have in the building with me. But before I introduce her, I am asking that you go ahead and hit that share button. Go ahead and hit that share button because, again, we're talking business on tonight. And this woman has multiple businesses. And so she's going to share her story on tonight. But we want to make sure that you don't miss anything. You do not miss anything. It is Monday. And so, again, every first and third Monday at exactly 7:45 p.m., we're in the chat box with me with a different guest. And so tonight, the amazing Miss Sherina Porter, right out of, I believe, Lauderdale. Throw your L's up. Miss Sherina Porter, thank you so much for being in the chat box with me on tonight. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for inviting me to this amazing platform. Again, my name is Sherina Porter. I am Broward County's own serial entrepreneur. I am from Lauderdale, of course, the 954. I think Jabrina is from Dania. So, Danny,
I kind of represent a little bit of everything. I don't really like call city because but yeah, Dania, Miami, and you know what the crazy part is, Sherina, you may not know it or not, but we grew up in Miami, Carol City. So exactly.
Yeah,
a lot of people do not know that I was raised right off of 27th and 175th in Carol City, now known as Miami Gardens. So I lived there all my life. But I do a lot of things in Broward. So just in case y'all did not know, I'm a Tri-County girl.
Right. That's a good thing.
Hey, ladies, so excited to be with you both. Thank you for joining us on tonight. So again, if you are in the building with us right now, let us know that you're here and go ahead and share this video. I promise you it's going to bless you. Sherina was just getting ready to tell you who she is. Many of you may know her as being a mother. She is the president of a nonprofit. She is a certified funeral plan consultant. But besides me knowing her from the church world, she has these amazing inspired pins, y'all. These brooches that everybody is in love with. And so she has taken the game to another level. Listen, I did that maybe a few years ago, and it was just here and there. But when somebody is like doing their thing, listen, she will make you spend all your money.
Yes, that's the goal. That is the goal.
I know. I know that. I'd be like, so do you have a belt? What do you have? Because I need it all. So Sherina, continue to tell the people a little bit about yourself.
First of all, my name is Sherina Porter. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am the CEO and owner of I have a nonprofit, which is called She by Design Inc. My nonprofit has only been in existence 2 years. Mm-hmm. And it is a nonprofit that I gear towards mentorship and empowerment for young girls. I myself, most people don't really know, but at the age of 7, I was adopted by my grandparents because my mom had an addiction. So during that process, the one thing that stuck out for me was that my grandmother never made us feel that we were adopted.
Come on to the grandmothers that's still around making it do what it do.
Yes, she never made us feel like we were adopted. She made us give my mom the utmost respect during her battle with drug addiction and mental illness. And those are the things that I remember. I often tell people one thing that always stuck out of my mind when I started this nonprofit was me and my brother was at my mom's house. My mom had a friend girl, and all of us, back in the days, we all, when they went out, everybody stay in the house, don't open the door, don't nothing. Something happened. I really can't remember what happened, but the police came to the house. It was about 8 of us kids, and they took us all. I began to remember the actual direction of how I got to the foster home. And at that time, it would take you directly to the foster home to stay overnight. They didn't take us to like the police, and they didn't do all of that. I remember the direction. And so what I did was when the lady went to sleep, I called my grandmother and I gave her the directions. And maybe about 15 to 20 minutes later, I heard the knock at the door. I knew that we were being rescued. My brother was small. He was really young. But I was like, let's go. Help is
Go
on the
time.
way.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
So I built that. That was the reason why I always wanted to start a nonprofit, and I actually did it. So we are up and coming. We just did our first annual back to school. We were able to give away over 300 uniform shirts and bottoms to students. We collaborated with a Good Shepherd's back to school event that they had for the community. So it was our first major event, and it was a great success. In addition to that, like you said before, I am a mother of 2 boys. I have a 26-year-old and a 16-year-old. I also am also in the funeral business. I work for Elijah Bell's Funeral Home, which is one of the most elite and best funeral homes in Broward County.
Come
And
on
I
with
also
love.
am a funeral consultant. And I also am a funeral consultant. Most people are leery when you talk about death. I got into the business about 5 years ago when my grandmother passed. And Mr. Bell allowed me the opportunity to walk her through that process. It was more than just going to make the funeral arrangement. We prepared the programs. We did make sure her dress was fine, her dressing, and just the little things, and that kind of always stuck with me. During that time, after her passing, about 5 to 6 months later, um, Mr. Dwayne Shepherd, which is at a Good Shepherd, reached out to me and said, "Hey sis, why don't you come along? I think you'll be good at this." And my heart was naturally for helping. I have a heart of help. That's just what I do. I'm a nurturer by nature. So I started the process of becoming a funeral assistant. And so it's more than just a job. To me, that is when a person, a family, or individual is at their lowest and they're more vulnerable. So you have to be able to be cognizant of what they're going through, as well as sympathetic enough to understand.
Wow, wow, wow. Listen,
It
you've already
takes
answered
one.
the first question before I could even ask. I was like, so how did you get involved? And you
Yeah.
broke this thing down already. So you definitely mentioned about the nonprofit. And so
Mhm,
the nonprofit goes with the pins, the brooches, correct?
mhm.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
The
And then
nonprofit is a nonprofit. No, it doesn't. It does not go together. It has a similar name. The nonprofit is
okay.
She by Design
Oh,
Inc.
okay.
That's the
Okay.
nonprofit. Right. So She by Design Inspired Collection is my DBA under my LLC, which is Signature Loan Documents, which I am also a notary and a loan signing agent for the state of Florida in the Tri-County area. With that particular business, I sign mortgage loans. I'm the person that you see when you're signing for your home and you're preparing to buy the home. That person at closing is me. I'm that person
Mm,
at refinancing your home. I'm that person when you are taking out a loan on your mortgage, your existing mortgage, when you're pulling out equity. So I'm basically that person because nothing can be done without a notary. It's just as simple as that. So my signature, which we don't we it's important, but my signature, Sherina Porter, my signature holds weight My signature
Listen, I
just
feel
not
stop right there.
only
Pause, 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 pause. Time it out right there. Because I just felt like the Lord was just speaking at that moment. And I don't know if y'all caught that with the my signature. Because a lot of people don't sign documents anymore. But to realize you said my signature holds weight. The question is,
right.
how many of y'all signature holds weight? Like, listen, I just
Yeah,
felt like that was a whole sermon all by itself. I'm about to go look that up and see how I could, incorporate that in a message real
yeah.
quick because we don't understand. Sometimes we be signing
Because
things,
when you say
don't realize
no,
that we can't sign everything with the name that we have, with the name that God has given us, with you know what I'm saying, with the gift he's given us. And so just like you can't be everywhere, you can't sign everything. You said your signature holds weight. So even if I'm not in the building, if my name is on the document, they know that it's some good.
right,
Come on, somebody.
right. If my name is on the document, then the state of Florida, the governor views it as legit.
Mm-hmm.
The state of Florida, my signature holds so much weight, and that's just not in my personal signature, the signature of my brand.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn, and it has taken me about 46 years to realize that I am my brand.
Come on.
So I cannot be, and I had to learn this too with Facebook, because sometimes Facebook will get you so looped around to thinking that you're not as accomplished because you don't have as many likes. You're
Mm-hmm.
not as because you're not as popular, what you're doing or what God has placed on you is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get so backtracked to I'm not able to post everything because I'm, as they say, I'm booked and busy.
Right. Hold on, Sherina. So I don't know if you can see the comments, but honey, they writing my signature holds weight. Maybe y'all better
Yes.
catch that in the
My
spirit. Y'all better pull it.
yes.
My signature holds weight. It's gonna speak for me when I'm not even
I
there. Because
can't
when I sign for it, God has already stamped this. Is what it signs,
and I
sealed,
can't
delivered.
sign for anything. I can't sign for anything. I can't put my name on anything, and people may become offended.
Mm-hmm.
People may become like, "Oh, you." I can't sign for everything because the
Mm-hmm.
signature that was given to me, nobody went through that test or those questions or those classes but me. I had to go through
Mm-hmm.
those classes and that test to make my signature mean something. So sometimes we have to also remember, like, it is. They've often said that you are your brand. You, when you walk, they know you. They no longer call you Jabrina Thompson. They call you Denise because you are your brand. So
Right.
I had to learn, like, everything you say, the things that you say, the things that you do, you are your brand. And my brand is my signature. So I can't co-sign every post. I can't share everything on the social media world. They get offended.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you share mine? I can't. My signature holds weight that I can't share everything because that means
You
I've
better help
co-signed it
them.
and that means I agree with it.
Right? Listen. Wait, okay, so pause right there because I feel like this. Listen, y'all in the chat box with me and Sherina on tonight. And so I don't know if y'all really understand the way this conversation is going, but it has took a turn for the best of the conversations that we're having because if you needed a word for today, if you needed a reminder on today, she has told you that your signature holds weight. You can't, when you know the anointing, the calling, the that you have on your life, like you said, I'm not being mean, I'm not being rude, but I can't share everything because if I do, I am co-signing what it is. And so you have to be so mindful in this season. Like, no, I'm not being mean. But in this season, I will never forget. I just told two people this just the other day. Matter of fact, the last event we were two together, which was Shanice's event. And when
Mhm.
I left from there, I can hear the Holy Spirit say, "You cannot MC everything anymore. You can't do it because my anointing is too strong for what I'm getting ready to stand up. You know what I'm saying? So that
Mhm.
particular event showed me, like, wait a second, You can't go to the baby shower and to go have the people going to church in 2 seconds. Like they don't want the church for the baby shower. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
realized, like, wait a second, baby showers are probably no longer gonna be my thing unless it's somebody, that's very close to me.
Right.
Birthday parties not probably gonna be my thing but it's gonna be different events, to more encouragement events, more empowerment events, because I know who I am and what God is doing in my life. And so when I left him there, he was like, yeah, as you can see, that just went to a different level for you. So you got to be careful in the rooms you step in, because what you say, my signature holds weight.
Yeah. And
Wow.
we have to be, I never forget, I remember this was a couple of years ago. I had a birthday party, and I was at a club. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends said, I can't come. Mm-hmm. So I was offended. Mm-hmm. So she was like, no, I do this and I do this, and I can't let my good be evenly spoken of. At that time, this was about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. But now I get it. Because back then I was still kind of like, a different person. I was still trying to evolve and find out who I was and what was my purpose. And the only reason that to be honest with you, in the last 3 years, my everything has shifted because of the wound on my heart when my mom passed away. Mm-hmm. And with the hurt and dealing with her. And it just, let me tell you something, honey, go through a little something. And if you don't change, baby, it don't have to be nothing major. It doesn't have to be that. It go through something. Something is why. Mm-hmm. Go through something. One thing that you think that you could not get up from, and if you get up, and this is perfect because it's Holy Week. I just sent a text to my friends this week, today, that said, we are able to get up for anything. We can go to him for ourselves. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because he got up this week of all weeks. Because he got up this week, baby.
Y'all might as well cancel Christmas because he rose. Right.
This week is a week of utterly strength. Mm-hmm. That you can come out of anything. You do not have to die. You don't have to die there. And I'm saying that because I've dealt with depression. I've dealt with suicidal thoughts and things of that being insignificant and not feeling like I am who I am. It took me 46 years. I was a person that pushed people. I'm okay with being in the background, and still to this day, I kind of push away from it. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just, I ain't, it is what it is. But I've learned that I am different. The settings that I go to now, I can no longer, it's just different. It is what it is. No matter what I talk about, and I have a really good friend that we talk every morning. No matter what we talk about, it's all reverting back to God. And it's so weird to be like, girl, I feel like I know all the scriptures. I feel like
listen, you are absolutely right. There is no conversation, and if it is very few that God ain't coming up in that conversation. I'm talking about, when I say very few, it is very few. I'm talking about, you gonna hear one like, no.
It's like a light. You could be saying something like, girl, we were just talking, like, oh my God, I'm just it's another month, just got over bills and quit. It said, well, it's some people that they stealing 2 months ago bills, and everything zeroed out for March, and we can walk on into April free.
Listen.
Pandemic did not affect me and my home.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying? I'm
you
in the
get yourself. Let me tell you, that funny meme. That funny meme that said when the Holy Spirit make you delete what you was about to write, that's what it do. It just bring you all the way back, and you be like, no what, don't worry about it. Thank you, Lord. I'm sorry.
Listen, it had it. Listen, sometimes I just have to put the phone down, be like,
not today.
Until the fact that it makes you
Jesus love you, and so do I.
Yeah, because I used to have a get back spirit. I was gonna get you back.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm just like, they don't
It
know.
ain't even worth it. Wow. Listen, y'all, we thank y'all for being in the chat box with me and my special guest, Miss Sherina Porter. Y'all, we going back and forth. Like
Yeah,
we
we're going back
jokingly
and forth.
just said, y'all gonna hear about the when we talk about the Lord. So y'all gonna get a little bit of both on these ends over
Right.
here. But I have the amazing Miss Sherina Porter. She is
Thank you so much.
a serial entrepreneur. And so she told us in the first half of this conversation that your signature holds weight. Her signature holds weight. She can't sign off on
Everything.
everything. And when she
Mm-mm.
does, it comes with a stamp, almost like the price of God is on it. I already told her it is signed, sealed, and delivered. It is valid.
Yes,
You could take it
it
to
is.
the bank and cash it in this season of your life. And so I'm super excited to have this amazing woman on. So, Sherina, all of the different businesses that God has allowed you to have your hands on and move
Mm-hmm.
fluently in them, because
Mm-hmm.
we just got to be honest. Some people can have businesses but not moving fluently. So one they doing a lot on, the other they kind of laid down a little bit, but not moving fluently, excuse me. How do you keep all of them going and keep them thriving and pushing? Like, how do you keep everything moving in the way that God would have you do it? Because everybody gonna move different as long as you move.
So let me say this. There are seasons to everything. So with all of my businesses, they move in the season that God projected them to move in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why everything is able to exist is first because of him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I do most is I pray over my businesses. Every move that I make, everything
Stop,
that I do,
pause. Because I need them to catch what you said. You do what over your business?
I pray over my businesses. I
Okay.
when I say pray, I literally I'm I have business cards on it. I have a table that I have set up in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
So every morning, I don't have my signature, but every morning when I get up
Mm-hmm.
doing my devotion, I do my devotion before I get on my prayer line for my church.
Mm-hmm.
So I lay my hands on everything.
Come
When I
on.
lay down at night, when I end my night for my business, when I'm posting, before after I
Mm-hmm.
finish posting the last post for the night, I pray. I
Mm-hmm.
ask God, I say, God, please direct my path. Give me
Mm.
witty inventions and thoughts. Things
Mm.
that, because when I started doing the brooches, which was about 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of it, we transitioned into a new name because it originally was Suddenly Lashed.
Mm-hmm.
Mid duration, he was like, So I kept saying I was going through some health issues and I was just going through a lot at that time. And God gave me She by Design. So I was like,
I'm
She
gonna
by
pause you
Design.
for 1 second, Sharina. You actually can share this if you come out of if you're in a group, then you can't share it. But if you go to Jabrina Speaks page, regular on Facebook, you can share it. I see somebody say we can't share this. The people need to hear this. You can share this video. Just come out of the group if you're watching in the group. Go over to Jabrina Speaks and you will see it and you can share it to every page. Thank you so much. Please share the video. Go ahead, Sharina. I'm sorry.
So I transitioned from one business name to the next.
Mm-hmm.
God gave me She by Design. And at this time, it was just a lot going on, personally, everything. And I was like, She by Design, that sounds so crazy. Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept praying. I just kept praying. I was like, okay, God, you got to give it to me because there's nothing that I can do without him.
Come on.
I've been able to make connections with people that have never interacted with me with
Mm-hmm.
the loan signing agent. Title companies that call me out of whim. And I want you to understand this. With loan signing agents, there are over thousands of loan signing agents in a database,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there are loan signing agents in a database. You sign up on these websites, it's a million people. I've had three that called me on just called me. It's like, hey, how are you? We can you do this? Yeah, of course, no problem. Da, da, da. The lady was like, it's just something about you. To
Wow.
where they just started calling repetition. She was like, you know what? Anything in Broward County, we're gonna call you.
Wow.
So
Wow.
then she said, hey, I have a question. Have you ever done a property search? I said no, but I'm sure I can learn. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, we're a title company. All we need you to do is when we're getting ready to sell, go to Broward County, the tax place, and pull up to the house, and we just need to see who the original owner was. I said, okay. You know what I mean? So then I was like, okay, so I can do that. So then she said, okay, this is what you do. She said, I'm going to call you off the line. So she called me on her online. She said, listen, you charge between $200 to $300 to do this. You charge me for mileage, and you charge me for whatever you pay to get it printed out, and you fax it back to me.
Wow.
So I said that to say this. Sometimes you have to first be obedient to God, and you have to allow him to lead you, because he will touch the heart of those to bless you. Sometimes blessings come in all different kind of ways, and sometimes we discount blessings. Some seasons of our life, because I mean, the loan signing and the notary, it was periodically, it gets slow, it's seasons to it, but all of a sudden it just started going. I felt like God wanted to see if I was going to be faithful. We want and we ask for things, but can he trust us with it?
Come
We
on.
want blessings, we want abundance, we want overflow, we want checks in the mail, but can he trust you? How is your prayer life? Do you get up in the morning? Every morning I get up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork. Straight people call straight crackhead. But that's how I start my day, when the world is quiet and I can hear from him. I can't get up and rush in this chaos. I can't hear him through chaos.
Wow.
I get up, I pray. And you just have to be, I live a very structured life. Like my friends say, I get up every morning, Monday through Sunday, between 4 and 5 a.m.
Wow.
My body is so accustomed to it.
Right.
I lay down at night between 11 and 12. But we have to remember, as entrepreneurs, whether it's a serial entrepreneur or not, we don't have hours.
No.
We don't have hours. And just because it's not working now does not mean it's not going to work.
Wow.
If
That's
he
good.
gave you that vision, he will provide for that vision. You don't have to beg anybody. You don't have to promote. No, let me tell you something. I have an amazing set of VIP clients who are just, listen, they get on my nerves, but I love them to death.
She loved y'all if y'all watching. She was just
I
playing.
know they watch it. I love them to death. But when I tell you, these women, I don't even have to. It's to the point now. The membership is $50 a month. They have to guarantee to spend that much in order to get in that chat. In that chat, they're able to get everything released first before it makes it to social media. Jabrina, for the last, and I tell you, last 7 months, most of my things don't ever make it to social media.
Wow.
These amazing women who have been able to sustain my business or keep my business going, they don't even care what it is. I put new arrival and they say, I want it. Give me $100 worth. Give me this. Give me that.
Wow. Wow. Listen,
It's they
y'all.
don't owe me anything.
If y'all were trying to figure out, because see, some people don't understand that it's just from your obedience. It's just from you trusting what God is telling you to do. And a lot of people may be saying, I wish I could do that. You can. You just got to be obedient to what God said. And so you mentioned something um earlier when you said about your name switched
Yes.
from one name to the next name, and you said switched early. Like you had done got a logo and all done with one name, and then God said, well, not so, I got another name for you. And so I want you to share with the audience on tonight, because somebody may be struggling or dealing with that, like because they're so used to or thought that was the name, that they're afraid to do the switch. But you said, no, God said switch. And so I had to switch. You had to put our logo. You had to start selling lashes. You had to letting people know this, like this is the business. And God saying, no, switch it to this. And then this is what you're going to do. And so with that obedience, look at the door that has opened, where now you have a membership of people that are ready to sow into your business. Not so. How did you say okay to the switch?
I bucked against it. Cause I was like, She by design. What is that? Well, what are you talking about? Because when I'm in my prayer with God, I talk to him like, listen, you know that, like, listen,
Not
you gave
today,
me
Lord.
this. So
Not
now
today.
you meant to tell me that after I didn't spend all this money on printing
Because
advertisement
I remember the first
to tell
when
me,
you just said that. I remember the lashes.
yeah, you told
Wow.
me. I said, you told me no. He said, yeah, she by design. I said, she by design. He said, yeah. He said, because you were designed for this. I said,
Mm.
come on now. You listen, you got to find you somebody to play with. But my spirit would not settle. I never
Mm.
forget. I called my friend Michael Mapp. Never forget this. I said, Michael. He was like, yeah, what's up, sis? I said, I'm thinking about changing my business name and everything. It just it. He was like, what are you changing it to? I said, I'm thinking about She by Design. What do you think? He was like, I mean, it sounds perfect to me. So I said, he just said that because he's my friend.
You
Right?
you you
Because
wanted somebody to you wanted somebody to disagree
one,
with you. So you
one, one,
listen. Listen, y'all. Listen. That's another y'all about
one.
to get another word from the Lord right now. Don't let nobody tell you what God has already told you.
Yeah.
He already told her, but she was looking for an scapegoat, that comfortable seat she could have sat in. For the one person to tell her, girl, you shouldn't do that. You just spent all that money on that other stuff. Why would you do that? Wait by the year to see what's going on. Let's see what you gonna do. And she would have missed the blessing. Y'all better catch it, y'all. She called one friend. One friend say, okay, go ahead, go for it.
Jabrina, I have had people say, well, what you doing now? What little business you got going on now?
Honey, don't feel bad. They say that to me all the time. I
Listen,
laugh. I said, whatever the Lord,
I'm here to I am
whatever
here
the Lord
to
tell me to do.
I'm here to tell you that not one business that I have ever touched has been little.
Exactly.
And as a single mother, and I'm finna kind of take a turn, but as a single mother of
Mm-hmm.
two boys,
Mm-hmm.
I have always worked 2 and 3 jobs. I tell this story to some, not to most, but when my 26-year-old went to college, he went to Florida State. He got a scholarship. I took him up there, right? I never went back until I picked him up. Not because I didn't want to go. I did not have the money. I could not afford to go see my son. So do you know how nightly it broke my heart not to be able to go see how my son's living? How now we would talk every night, but it's just something about going to your child.
Mm-hmm.
In 4 years, I could not go. I
Wow.
went when he graduated to pick him up. And because of that, I had to go. In that same day after graduation, we had to pack a U-Haul. So when people say that little business or that little thing, nothing I do is little because I don't serve a little God.
Come
So
on.
what I'm telling you is the reason why I have been obedient.
Mm.
Never laid down, never thought about public assistance. And let me say this, I've never gotten child support for either
Wow.
of my children.
Wow.
So there are some single moms out there that you think you can't make it. Baby, you can make it. I got up
Mm.
every day. I've rode the bus. I've caught rides. So the
Mm.
person you see today, the confidence and the person you see today is because I was there. I
Mm.
worked 2 and 3 jobs. I literally could not pay. I never forget. What is her name? You know her, Betty Gilmore. She was your mom's very good friend.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
never forget. I had my son. I think Charles was about 8. And
Mm-hmm.
Betty Gilmore, someone that owned Tracy Wilkerson that owned the daycare. We were
Mm-hmm.
all going to church at the time. And because sometimes we are so quiet and we don't want people to know that we're hurting and we're going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Betty Gilmore went to Tracy Wilkerson and said, you have a daycare. Can she work at your daycare to pay off so her baby can go to school so she can go to work? I worked at the daycare on the weekends so my baby to pay his tuition till
Wow.
eventually I got Family Central.
Wow.
So don't, when people say they can't do it, you can do it. And I've done multiple jobs. I
Hmm.
literally, on top of my 3 businesses, I still work 2 jobs,
Wow. Yeah, me too.
real jobs.
Right. Yeah. Work nine. And I've been on both of them for over 20 years. Absolutely. I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them coins. Until the Lord release it another way, I'm going to get them coins.
So let me tell you something. Nothing happens overnight. You have to be diligent and you have to be willing to sacrifice. It business owners, entrepreneurship comes with sacrifice.
Mm.
The money is not going to always be there. If God gave it to you and he told you to do it, don't stop. Keep going. It's going to come to pass. His word will not come back void. Never.
Ever, ever.
Never.
Ever,
Never
ever.
ever. Listen. Never. And my
Wow.
son will tell you today, like, I work. I've gotten so used to working. So when I ain't got nothing to do, I be like, it feels weird.
Wow.
So as a
Wow.
single mom, I get it. I trust me, I get it. We have to
Wow.
prepare. We have to. I've met so many magnificent women
Mm-hmm.
along the way that
Mm.
have not only, there were some that hurt me, but there were
Mm-hmm.
more that helped me. Then they would allow. So I can't even talk about the ones that hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Because the
I
help overweighed the hurt, so you don't even see them as. Matter of
listen.
fact, it hurted at that moment, but it gave you the foundation that you needed to take the next step. So you already knew how to handle it when you saw it again.
I heard Sarah Jake say this morning. She said, "You wounded me. It made me worthy. The wound made me worthy."
Mm.
So
Wow.
you can't people, you cannot, you can't, people are gonna be people. People may not support. I
That
hate,
is one of my favorite quotes. I say, y'all don't let
listen,
people be people. Because they
we
gonna
get
be
so
people.
angry. We get so angry. I personally hate the memes that say, oh, people don't share. It'll be the people that you don't know that will support you. Stop it.
Yeah.
Everybody has issues. I've learned that some people don't have it to support She by Design.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do not have it, or it's not to their liking, and it's
Right. And
okay.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's really okay, and there is enough to go around.
It
You know,
is.
people go by what popularity. And listen,
Mhm.
the God that I serve is more popular than anybody I know.
Listen, you better
He
say
got more
that.
views. He got more views,
Likes, shares, comments, all the above. And I try to
and
tell
his
people,
and
I'm
his
like,
track record is 100 to 100.
listen, it have nothing to do with
Always
me. It's
deliver.
with the Lord. It has nothing. Listen, it don't have nothing to do. Oh, you do. Listen, it is all God. Anything that y'all ever seen me do, it all comes from Him. Because this ain't the just FYI, I was laughing because the tea party wasn't even on my mind to be talking about doing. But last week He dropped it on me, and I was like, "Well, Lord, how we gonna get this?" And guess what He did? Like you said, if He giving you the vision, He's going to always bring the provisions behind it. You don't have to worry. You just have to work what He gave you. And if you do that, you will see the manifestation come to pass.
Yeah.
And so,
It
listen,
gets
I'm
hard.
excited. Go ahead.
It gets hard. Let me
It
tell you
does.
something. It gets hard. But I'm gonna
Mhm.
tell you this. You got to get you some word in your belly. So when it get hard, you got to find you some substance to pull
And you say
from.
when it get hard, but I'm gonna say when you get hungry, because when you got that word in your
Yeah.
you better find something that's gonna, because again, it does get hard. And I think a lot of times people, they look at the social media, they look at the pictures. And so this is why God has given me the chat box. And this segment is called, let's talk business, because I want people to be transparent. I want people
Yeah.
to tell their truth. I want people to share with the world, because a lot of times people may feel from pictures that people may be unreachable or untouchable. I don't know if I can talk to them, to only come and find out they just as down to earth as you are. And so that's why God has given me this platform, to make sure that we're able to share these stories with the audience, with the people God would allow to see these videos to come back, and whether they're watching live. And so we thank everybody that's watching, that is sharing, that is commenting, because I just believe that what Sherina is dropping on tonight is going to help somebody. I know somebody wrote, you never know when you need a word. And so they were watching. And so that's what tonight is all about. It is about sharing your business. So it's Let's Talk Business. Again, I am Jabrina Speaks. I'm the host on tonight, and the amazing Sherina Porter is in the chat box with me on this beautiful first Monday of April. It's Holy Week, y'all. So y'all get
he got up. Let me tell you something. He got up. So one thing that I do want to talk about is my heart, which is Assure for Life. And I know a lot of people do not want to talk about life insurance and preparing the way. So we want to be financially cognizant, and we want to be good stewards over the things that God has given us, and we want to prepare. Preparation does not mean that you're going to die but
can I just be honest, Sherina? We all gonna die.
Yeah.
The Bible tells us life is but a vapor.
Yeah. And it does not belong to us.
And so this is only our passing place. And like you say, we dance around death, but death is inevitable. And so when we understand that it's going to happen, regardless.
But this is the thing. We get everything. We get life, we get our car insurance.
We get BBLs.
We're forced to get health insurance.
You heard me. I say we get BBLs.
Yeah. Listen, these BBLs be killing us, but we get them too. And it's just joke. If you got one, listen.
Listen.
I really want one too.
Me too. I'm just scared to get on the table.
But baby, if God ever give me that go, I'm gonna be a whole problem out in these streets.
Girl, I'm gonna be just like them. Honey, they gonna say, put this body up. I'm like, nope, as I paid too much for it.
Yes, I agree. But back to the topic at hand, we want to make sure. I see so many families on a regular basis with tragic deaths.
Yeah.
And they do not have any policies.
Yeah.
It's hurtful to see a family that your family cannot bury you properly or grieve properly because they do not have the money or the funds. And then when you go back and we look at your social media, we look at different things and we see Porsches, we see trips to Paris. We just see a lot of things, and let's just be honest. And you are entitled to buy whatever you want. But all I'm saying to my community is let's just get some insurance. This is a funeral plan. It's not insurance. You can also get insurance. We just want you to prepare. We have to be prepared. This funeral plan with Assure for Life is one of the best funeral plans in the state of Florida, the United States, period. This plan allows you to cover 7 people per month for $70. It pays for a basic service. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. It does not pay for horse and carriage. It does not pay for the frills, but it will give you a respectful service. This is the only policy in the United States that pays out in 3 days for a tragic death and covers suicide. There is no insurance policy ever that covers suicide. And that's fact. You can read it. You can look it up. Wow. That is factual information. So we just want us to let's be about our Father's business. We're working on our bodies. We're working on our minds. We're working on our credit. We're working on being home builders. We're even working on being entrepreneurs. Let's be a total package. We want everything to line up with the will of God. And it is not God's will that we suffer. It's not God's will that we have hardships.
Wow.
So if you have someone that's in your family that you know, I personally have life insurance and I also have this plan. But the reason why I got this plan is because I have a few people in my family that do not have insurance. So for me, it's either I pay it now or I have to come out of the pocket later to assist my family. Wow. So what I did was I had a meeting with my family, my immediate family, and I went up to about my third cousins to find out who does not have a policy. And we made sure everyone is on a policy. It's not a large amount, but it's enough to cover a basic service. Anything else, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Listen, y'all make sure y'all connect with Sherina on so many different levels, but especially about making sure that you get your life insurance, that you get your life in order, that you get your ducks in a row. Because again, we just never know when God is going to call our name to come home. And like she said, you don't want to leave, excuse me, that burden on your family when you can start now, just setting it up. So then, if it's something there, they can use that because I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure it's about $10,000 or more for a funeral, and so.
A basic funeral right now with the inflation and everything has inflated, even
Mhm,
funerals. A basic
mhm.
funeral is about $10,000. And that is not that's without a plot or a headstone for your loved one.
Wow.
So if you choose, even if you choose not to do the funeral plan, I have
Mhm,
several different amazing colleagues that do pre-need. There are several different funeral homes that we deal with in the area that I can refer you to. I have
mhm,
people that sell insurance. If you want insurance, we can provide you with that as well. So we have different connections that we can connect you to the right people. If you're looking for buying a home, I am not a real estate agent, but I know many of them that may be able to assist you. It is not a me thing with me
mhm,
because there's nothing that I have done or have been doing or will do that is
mhm.
me alone. Can't
Wow.
do it by myself at
Mm-mm,
all.
mm-mm,
Trust me.
mm-mm.
I wish I could, but I can't. So you have to be, and when you're good stewards over things, you can't hoard everything. The Bible speaks about hoarding.
Hmm.
You can't hoard everything. You're not going to make all the money. You're not. Let's just be honest.
Not in this world.
Mm.
Not in this world. Listen, y'all, it is Monday night. I am so excited. It's such a blessing to have Miss Sherina Porter in the building. Sherina, as we begin to wrap up on tonight, um, if anybody wanted to get in this line of business, you have multiple business. You mentioned about
Mhm.
being a funeral plan consultant. Somebody may be interested in doing that. They may be trying to get there. Maybe they're starting with the inspired brooches and things like that, and that they're admiring you from a distance because now they see like maybe you giving them an ideal, excuse me, about
Mhm.
possibly having like those private people buying things,
Mhm.
or better yet starting a nonprofit. Somebody may have heard your story and like, oh my goodness, I know what it is to be in that situation,
Mhm.
or just living that way. How could they connect with you? Are you a mentor when it comes to some of these things that you're doing? Like how can they make sure that, okay, boom, I want to do what she's doing, let me see how can I connect with her.
So I am definitely not, I wouldn't call myself a mentor, but I am willing to help as much as I know because
Mhm,
someone helped me.
mhm.
My nonprofit organization, we are on Facebook and Instagram under She by Design Inc. You can find us on there. My loan signing, if you was thinking about becoming a loan signing agent, first you would need to become a notary. You can do that as simple as going to nationalnotaryservices.com, taking your 4-hour course, doing your background checks, sending your coins, and start from there. Then after that, if you want to be a loan signing agent, then you would have to be certified to do that as well. And it's
I may
very
need to
simple.
become a loan sign agent because I'm a
It's
notary.
it's as simple as taking a test. If you
Mm,
are a notary, the company that you take your test through,
mhm,
it's called a loan signing agent, and they also have ROA, which is a remote loan signing agent, which
mm.
means you don't even have to leave your house. They give you a remote stamp.
Wow.
So there are several different options that you
Mhm,
can take to do that. Also, the my other business is signature legal documents. We talked about that. My signature holds weight. I
mhm,
prepare divorces. I don't
mhm.
want y'all to get divorced, but just in case you do, allow me the opportunity to help you fill out your paperwork and fill it out correctly. Okay. Now, want to work together and get a little counseling. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions to make sure that you're sure. But if you're sure that you're sure, and there is no other way but this way, allow me to help you go ahead and file those paperwork.
I can
In
do your
addition to that,
paperwork and I can pray with you. Which
yes, I definitely will do that. And I also do we also do wills It is very important that we put a will in place. We can
Mm-hmm.
say one thing that I've learned. Everybody tells somebody something different. It is we must be very clear on the decisions and the things that we want when we are not able to advocate for ourselves. You have to be clear. To I have two children. They are two great gentlemen, but they're two different personalities. So as a mother, I am very clear with the both of them what I want. I have one, which is my baby boy, who's going to do exactly what I say. But baby, that 26-year-old, he gonna buck against the grain every time. He's gonna do how he feels. So I
Like,
had to
so
put
I
it
ain't
in
leaving
paper.
you in charge over there. I need to lead a baby boy in charge.
Yeah. So
I
I
love
had
you,
to
son,
put
but
it
you
on
gonna get that one.
yeah. So I had to put it on paper. One thing about paper, it seals the deal. Once your signature and those things you want, we don't want anything to happen to anyone. But like you said, Jabrina, you never know. And what happens in your if you cannot speak or advocate for yourself? Your family can only guess. And never leave the burden of your family thinking that they guessed wrong. That's a heartbreak. My mom did not have a will. We made a lot of decisions, and to this day, it kind of torments me. Did I make the right decision? But I did everything that I could. But so you want to be very clear. And we don't like to have these talks, but you have to sit down and have talks with your children, those that you love. Have the talk. My friends get tired of me talking about what's gonna happen when I die. They know, get my wig and put my girdle on. Don't lay me down without my piece on. Okay. But
But at least you honest. At least you. I need all that. I need all of that. I need all of that. And you know what?
so
It's like you
yeah,
said, having that conversation about death is so
yeah.
important. Um, I know when my dad died, it'll be 8 years, July. Um,
Okay.
that was something that, like my parents, since they never told us that they were going to be with us forever. They
But
never.
you just thought that.
Right, but and when the reason I'm saying that, I hear parents say I'm gonna be with you forever, and that's not the truth. Because then I've heard the child say they lied to me. They told me that they were gonna be with me forever, and it's like, don't no. You tell them I'll be with you until the day God calls me home. And
Yeah.
so when he passed away, God had already been preparing us anyway, just mentally.
Right.
Like, I just started to see things or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
But just growing up, I'm like, yeah, my daddy always be like, y'all ain't gonna be here forever now. We got some insurance. I got it on y'all if y'all leave first, and I got it on me if I leave first. And so when it happened, we could not say, but you told us you was gonna be here forever with us. It was like, all right, God prepare me for this day that we about to have to face. And so it is very imperative that you have these conversations.
Yeah.
And these were not adult conversations. These were since we were little children. Like, all right, don't forget, this may happen one day.
Yeah.
So when it did happen, thank God, God blessed us to be adults when it happened. It really kind of like eased the pain just a little bit because
It made it a little bit better, but yeah.
It put a lot of things it put the death in more perspective. Again, God was already preparing each of us differently for it, but when it happened, it was just like, okay, like you told us you was going to, like jokingly, a week or two before he passed away, my dad didn't believe in bank cards, so he had to go to the bank every day to get money, like every day to get money. And one day I called him, maybe a week or two before he passed away. I said, "Why? I've never met somebody that go to the bank every day. Like, what you trying to do?" He said, "When I don't need y'all to spend none of my money when I die."
Yeah. He was trying to get his money out.
Right, like I need to make sure everything's set up. And lo and behold, a week or two later, he passed away. But again, those were the conversations that we would have leading up into God calls him home. So definitely make sure you get that experience.
The thing is about it, and I'm gonna go back to entrepreneurship, is conversations. We have to think things through. We have to write it down. We have to pray about it. You have to meditate on it. You cannot jump at every opportunity that is placed before you. Some things are not meant for you. So, and you have to make sure that it's communication. You have to talk to people in that field. I've never met a stranger. I
Mhm.
just can go anywhere and have never met a stranger. I literally talk to everybody. I remember going on 6th Street and I saw this guy that was homeless and I asked him what happened. And he was like, I can't tell you. He told me he was a good football player. And he said he just was at his low and
Mm.
he just turned to drugs.
Mm.
Nobody ever asks anybody what happened and be honest about it. The
Mhm.
thing about social media, I love social media. It has a great impact, but social
Mhm.
media can give you a very um, diluted and false sense of reality. Social media can make you think that businesses and people are more prosperous than they really are. You
Come on.
have to filter through the fluff.
Mhm.
I can post all day, happy, happy, happy. But even in me posting happy Jabrina, out of the last year, every day that I post, because I don't post too much about sadness,
Mhm.
almost all of those days I was fighting for my life every day.
Mhm.
I had to get up because I had my children.
Mhm.
You get, and
Wow.
I know Christ. I got all of Christ in me. I trust and I believe him. But I had to beg him, allow me to get out this bed every
Mm.
day, to put on this face, to be this person that you needed me to be, even in a wounded place.
Mm.
And people don't realize, they think because you smiling and you this, or she doing this and she doing that. Is sometimes call people and say, how you doing? Just when people drop in my spirit, I do a wellness check.
Yes.
Just periodically. Because
I'm big on that. And I'm
I'm
big on calling people. I don't want to
yeah,
text you. I want to hear your voice.
I'm the friend that calls everybody.
Mhm.
But during my most darkest times, there were very few to none that would call
Come
me.
on. Come on.
And it started to make me feel angry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the person that'll get up out my bed and
listen,
go to the
I know
hospital.
because I'm that person. I'm the one
Yeah,
that's checking on everybody. But you be looking
yeah,
at the phone like, so nobody gonna check on me.
yeah,
But thank
yeah.
God for the God that we serve.
Listen, let me tell you something. Without him, all things are possible. Those who are in entrepreneurship, keep going. You got this. It's going to work out. Listen, seasons change. It's not
Mhm.
always going to be dark. It's not always going to be cloudy. The sun will shine. And you're going
Mhm.
to look back on this time and you didn't think that you were going to make it. If God gave it to you, he's going to take you through it. I promise you. There is
Mhm.
nothing that he cannot do. And this week is Holy Week. Listen, this is Holy Week. Do y'all understand me? This is holy. Let me tell you something. Like my friends be like, Sherina, you the same one amongst us. Listen, baby. This my week. Do you know? I tell and I say it
Jesus.
come. They walk my Jesus through this week. Do you hear me? There is
Somebody
no
may
way
be walking through, but baby,
they spit on him. Girl,
lie.
y'all just don't get it. Y'all are just oblivious to this week. Let me tell you,
This is
entrepreneur.
your reminder. You will
This is a
rise.
listen. Starting Palm Sunday,
Listen.
the
Mm.
same man that they denied, and the people that were on the side, he asked for he said, God forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Come
How?
on.
Who wouldn't serve a God like this? You tell me. The people, the very same people, and we toss people to the side all the time.
Yes.
You cannot be the victim and the villain. You got to pick a side. Sometimes some things that we go through is based on the actions that we have done, and we have to take accountability.
Girl,
It's
we
okay
are
to say
we
sorry.
almost at an hour and you about to start preaching again.
Listen, we have to take
But it is
accountability.
Holy Week, she say.
It's Holy Week. Do y'all understand that? Listen, if
My God.
no other week comes up, I'm telling every entrepreneur, I'm telling every single mom, I'm
Come
telling every
on.
person that is battling something with their marriage, their relationship. This
Come
they
on.
feel like their parents don't love them. You are you just anything going on in your life this week. You can get every day. This week is your week. This is dedicated to you. Get up. All you got to do is show up. As my pastor say, all you got to do is show up this week. Just get up. I promise you. Get up this week. Get up. Work on your business. Get up. Sit before the Lord. Meditation. Block up them earwaves. Some of that stuff you taking in, and it's blocking what's really need to be there. Clean out your ears. Clean your glasses, because I can't see. Clean your glasses. I
ask God for a new vision.
I promise you. Listen to me. There is no pain that he can't heal. I'm here to tell you, and God knows I miss my mom. But this week, baby, I'm trying to tell you, this week there is no way. Grief will not overtake me. He can't have me. Depression cannot have me. I served him notice. I signed because my signature has weight. He won't win this week. He won't win ever again. It's over.
Wow.
He got up. So that means I can get up. It hurts. You feel like the business ain't good. The money is not going to always be there. And let me tell you something I tell people all the time. You can look at my business account. Now, God knows I tell you no lie. You can look at it at 8 o'clock and it says prosperous. But baby, you can go back at 9:30 and it says struggle. You hear me? Oh, okay.
Come on.
I'm going to tell you the truth.
Come on.
That's the truth.
It is. No, it really is.
But the good outweighs the bad. They're not going to tell you the taxes you have to pay, the renewals you have to pay. It's more to it. The more I shop in the more, yes, please. The more I shop and the more I buy.
Right.
The more purchases you guys make.
Yes.
So when people seem a little bit higher, and I don't know why I'm going this, it's because there are a lot that goes along with entrepreneurship. There's a lot. When you are a real entrepreneur and you are doing it the right way, there's a difference. When you're doing it the right way, you have to register with the county you're in and the state. You have to pay taxes on what you make. And that's not income tax. I'm talking about taxes on a quarterly basis. Let's keep it 100. My seals, my signatures, my gas, my printing. I make the money, but it's printing. Your ink. It's the little things, and they add up quick. You want to cover your signature with over $100,000 worth of insurance, because if I sign some of these people's papers and it ain't what it is, baby, they coming after my signature. And they're going to take everything she by design got. Know that.
Right.
They don't care nothing about me or my signature at that point. I'll be tied up in court in litigation. We don't want litigation. So when you're telling the stories and when we tell it entrepreneurship, there are ups and downs. There are a lot of red tape, but a lot of things come by educating yourself. Read. If you don't know, you can call the IRS. They have a customer service. They will talk to you. You can call some biz. They will walk you through it. You can call the tax office. They will walk you through it. We rely on paying people for services. Some services you do have to pay for, but a lot of stuff we pay based on convenience because we don't want to do our own research. We want it to be hand delivered.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I saw somebody charging for an EIN number that's free to get. I was like, why?
Ooh, and it takes 2 minutes.
I'm like, why?
But this is the thing. People are paying. That's the only reason why it's relevant.
Right, because I'm like, what? You know that's free, right? Just go on and
okay, it's research.
Right.
It's research. So we have to research it. You guys can reach me on my Facebook is She by Design Inc. For the insurance plan, it is She is Assured for Life. SHIASSURED for Life on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do motivation misconception Mondays. We'll probably be starting next week. Don't hold me to it. Y'all look out for the flyer. It'll be up. But yes, and She by Design everywhere. We're at vendor spaces all over. Hopefully we will be at the tea party.
I know, I need to go in there and check it while we on here, because somebody tried to get it.
We're going to be at the tea party. We are going to be at a lot of different events. We are usually at most events. I am an entrepreneur and I am a sole proprietor of my business. So sometimes when I say no, please take it in love. It's not that I don't want to come to your event. It's because I am one person and I only can do so much. And I love y'all. I promise I do. You can reach me at 954-800-7726. You can call me if you have any questions. I want to thank Jabrina so much for allowing me the opportunity
absolutely
platform and give just a little bit of me, to give my heart and what God has placed on my heart. And it's not easy. I am not a multimillionaire yet, but it is in the making. And sometimes, even with all of the finances and the monetary, the one thing that I want to be is pleasing in His sight. So even heaven and earth will pass away, but I want to be able to see Him. You hear me? Because I've been through hell. So I want to go. I want to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, so,
because it's Holy Week.
Because listen, He got up. Do y'all? I don't think y'all understand.
Hopefully they get it now. Again, I am so grateful to have you on this platform, Sherina. To everybody that joined in on tonight, we appreciate you so much. Listen, Sherina answered all the questions before I could even ask the question. She's like, I'm nervous, girl. You did an amazing job. I was going to say, so do you have anything? What's one thing you would like to wrap up? Sherina wrapped it up. Well, how can they get in contact? Gave it all to them. So make sure you connect with Miss Sherina Porter. She is a serial entrepreneur. She has multiple businesses that you can connect with some way, somehow, whether it's life insurance or some type of insurance policy when it comes to funerals. If you are looking into starting a nonprofit or being a part of hers, and then if you want that nice piece to finish off your outfit, to finish off your jacket or whatever you have on, she has some amazing pieces, y'all. When I tell you amazing, like I was mad I couldn't purchase the last time we was together. But the Holy Spirit knocked all of us out. So by the time we got
these babies was gone, but it was an amazing event yet again. And I've loved Shanice since a girl. And the great thing about Shanice is seeing her grow up. She ended up just where she, like, if you knew her from a kid, it is like it was always there. It was always there. So just with that, like, you guys, if you are in business, if you're thinking about business, if you're thinking about going to school, if you're thinking about doing something that's been placed on your heart, do it. Listen, nothing beats a failure but a try. You have to try. If you never try, you'll never know. Listen, you can do all things through Christ. It's possible for those moms who are out there, those women in general. I was just telling Jabrina, it's hard out here for these single sisters, honey. Yeah. You hear me? We struggling. But let me tell you this: God is good.
I'm sorry, Steve, they need your number again.
Okay. My number is 954-800-7726. Again, that number is 954-800-7726. And you guys can reach me. I do have business hours, however, but if it's after 8 o'clock, you can go ahead and text me. I respond to all texts and I will get right back to you. But I want to thank again Jabrina for allowing me the opportunity to for this platform and just pour out what's in me and what's God has planned for me. Entrepreneurship is not easy. It is not for the weak. Mm-hmm. It is not for the weak. But what I will tell you is don't give up. It's going to happen.
Don't give up. Get up this week. Watch the strength.
Baby, it's only week.
Wait, so I got a joke before we go off. So y'all see how she get real corporate when she's talking about her business. I was like, that voice change. It got real professional, y'all. Like
that's a social worker. That's a social worker, and I am a social worker by trade.
Listen,
have been.
I hear it because it came out. So what would you like for me to do? Then it was like, baby. I'm like, wait. I'm sorry, y'all.
Listen.
I had to do that because it just like switch off and on. And I love it. Listen, I love it, honey.
It does. And that's a part of entrepreneurship. We have to be able to.
You got to be able to switch it. Just like the Lord told her to switch that name, he said, switch that voice too. So she got to
listen. But it's great.
But it worked out. It worked out for you.
And it is still working out, and it will work out. Don't think that because you are not as popular, you don't have the money. Let me talk about the money right quick. Sometimes we think that because we don't have the money, but I'm gonna tell you, little makes much. Make the effort to start.
Don't despise small beginnings.
Let me tell you something. I started my businesses off of my part-time job. I did not have the money. Like I said, I'm a mother of 2 children, and I do not get child support. And that's a whole nother thing. But I chose time over child support because men struggle too. But we'll talk about that on a whole nother segment. However,
we'll talk about it on yours.
Yeah, Misconception Monday. So we'll talk about that. However, you have to be. I funded my business through my second job.
That's how it goes. And you said something. I think a lot of times, we'll talk about that on Misconception Monday too. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, well, she's popular, so that's why she got X, Y, and Z. But I'm here to tell y'all, it was not popularity to get me to where I'm at now. It is and will always be the purpose of what God has me stand on. It has nothing to do. I tell anybody, anything that I do, anything that we do could be gone at the blink of an eye. But you gotta stay humble. Like it's not like, oh, no, I don't know. Half of these people I've met are through social media, are through making those necessary connections. They're not my friends that I grew up with, over the years. And I think people have that misconception of how they hear. Well, it was consistency that will allow them to see, like, oh my God, like she's been consistent for quite a long time. Like this is what it is. And so people just don't worry about. Because God gonna be the one to make sure everything, goes the way it's supposed to go. So when you mention about popularity, it makes a lot because I hear people say, "Oh my God," and I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with any of that. Like it was.
And you have to remember that popularity is one thing, but being able to have a moral character and people trust you is something totally different. The talks that I have with people, the paperwork that I see of people, they trust me. Popularity, sometimes people don't want popular when they're when they're the most vulnerable.
Exactly.
So you have to be careful, and you have to be, and I'm gonna say this as a business wise, never make memes about something that either someone has talked to you about or going through. Death is not funny. You'll never see me post a funny meme about death. You'll never see me say to the fact of, oh, your credit score is, or something like you don't have no money. I don't talk that way. That's not how I speak. You understand what I'm saying? Because money does not make you rich. There are people that have a lot of money and they're miserable. We see people every day that kill themselves and are billionaires. Money has no merit. So you have to be careful of how you handle people. Not only their financial, you have to be careful how you handle them emotionally when they're going through. I personally do not share or post memes about relationships and, oh, she dumb and she did. I don't do that because I have friends that may be going through that and I may not be talking to them, but it's offensive to my circle. So I am an agent of protecting everything because I've been there and I want it to be protected. And until you have the same compassion, you have to have compassion for wherever people are. We all started somewhere. I'm definitely not.
The memes, like I don't really post a lot of like funny and stuff like that.
I'm not where I want to be.
Right.
But baby, Let me tell you something.
I ain't white.
About 20 years ago,
They would have got them all.
Listen, was a fighter.
Wow.
On God. And still he had to cast that spirit down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still the reason why I used to get so angry is because I genuinely love people.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody owes me anything.
Yeah.
Nothing that I do is for a return. Everything that I do is because, number one, God told me to do it. I don't give people, I don't give in church, I don't give people anything unless God tell me to do it. You can be mad, you can say whatever. He has to lead me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I do, I'm led by him because he's the author and the finisher of my faith.
Come
Without
on.
him, nothing is impossible. So those of you who are struggling, whether it's emotional, the society is getting strong, getting really weird, and we're doing a shift. But remember, you can make it through anything.
Mm-hmm.
He will never leave you nor forsake you. Trust me. You will look at this day, this time, that particular circumstance 2 weeks later, and you'll be like, I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Been there.
Done that.
Got
Been there,
and
done.
baby, it's Holy Week.
I knew you were gonna throw that in before we
It's
got out.
Holy Week.
Listen, everybody, we appreciate y'all for riding with us for the last hour and 15 minutes. It is a blessing to have Miss Sherina Porter on. Right. I told you how long. I'm like, I told you. That's what it'll be. Join us the third Monday of this month. Again, this is every first and third Mondays at exactly 7:45. Let's talk business with me, Jabrina Speaks. Also, if you have not gotten your sisterhood tea party ticket, do so. I started out with 50. I'm down to 40, and I know they're going to keep going as the time go on. It is April 29th. I want to invite every sister. God has given me this assignment. At the drop of a dime, like he told you to switch your name, he was like, okay, I need you to do this. And so the theme is let me pour into you. Let me pour into you. I feel it in the spirit that many of us are pouring, trying to pour from an empty cup, or very just that much is left, and you trying to figure out who to give it to. And so I am excited about what God is going to do April 29th at 10:30 a.m. You can get your tickets at www.jabrinaspeaks.us. But I look forward to seeing every sister in the building April 29th. We have 3 different ways you can do your tickets. You can do one single, just you, but I'm hoping that you bring somebody. So we have a sisterhood ticket that takes up 2. And then for my girls that roll with a few people, we have a sisterhood table that covers 8 women, that covers 8 women, that covers 8 sisters. And so I would love for you to come out and love on your sister. And so that is
friends April. Don't let friends brunch alone.
Right. Friends don't let friends
brunch alone. And if you know a young lady that is going through something, buy her a ticket.
That's why I got sisterhood ticket, and the sisterhood ticket is cheaper. If you buy 2, it's a little bit cheaper if you buy 2 tickets instead of 1 ticket. And so, as you said, friends don't let friends brunch alone. But like you said, God has given me the assignment, because we know people that are going through things. We know people that can use that little extra push. And so that's what the tea party is all about. And so I'm excited. I look forward to seeing you the 3rd Monday, of this month in April, the 3rd Monday of this month in April at 7:45 with a new guest. Again, Sherina Porter, I thank you for joining me on tonight. Everybody have an amazing night. We love you.
Good night.
Nothing you can do.
It's Holy Week. Listen, get up. It is Holy Week.
Y'all heard us say, get up. Get up. Don't lay in it.
Tell y'all, get up. He got up. I know you can get up, honey. They whipped them all night long. Ooh, don't let me start with that. Let me go on. Go ahead, cut this off.
We love y'all.